So this is pretty interesting. This is a ROM hack that I've had my eyes on for a minute. This is Child Quest, a ROM hack by Ghostly Dark, and according to the romhacking.net page, the description says, experience the story of Ocarina of Time without ever reaching adulthood. All items are usable and collectible. Every collectible can be acquired, riding Epona, doing trading quests, pulling the Master Sword, hidden surprises included. Now I'm interested in how this is gonna work. Like, how are the cutscenes gonna work? Is it gonna be new dialogue? Are the cutscenes and the story bits just gonna be omitted? I don't know, but this is a ROM hack that I've been wanting to play ever since I stumbled upon it like a year ago. Which, as a matter of fact, it was about 1 year ago today since my last playthrough of Ocarina of Time. It was around March, and it's currently February. It's February 11th, so it's been nearly a year. This is one of the most iconic openings in gaming history. Maybe it's because I played Ocarina of Time when I was a kid, but this opening cutscene of Link's Nightmare here is very memorable to me. Bro is sleeping with his eyes open. They were just flexing with this first-person shot. Look at those graphics. I've said it many times before, but the two N64 Zelda games, Ocarina and Majora, have the best atmosphere in the entire series, in my opinion. Especially Ocarina of Time. I don't know, there's something mystical about the vibes of Ocarina and Majora. Now, when I streamed Ocarina of Time last year, it was the vanilla N64 game. It wasn't Ship of Harkinian, it wasn't Ocarina of Time 3D. I played the original N64 Ocarina of Time, and barring the frame rate, this game still holds up. The water temple is a little bit penisy because you have to constantly pause and unpause to equip the water, the iron boots, but I actually like that dungeon. Water Temple's in my top 3 favorite dungeons in this game. Link looks a little different. I don't think this is his default Ocarina model. He looks a little more trim. Ocarina of Time young Link is kind of pudgy. He's a little chubby looking. I think this might be his Majora's Mask model, but I don't know. Let's see, make sure everything's working. No graphical glitches or anything. Options, that's new. 30 FPS. Toggle between 30 FPS and 20 FPS mode. Okay, let's see it. Whoa! That's crazy! I don't know how noticeable it is on stream, but this is way smoother. That's a monumental boon. I didn't think the difference between 20 and 30 FPS would be that big, but this is so much smoother. Tri-swipe replaces the... Oh, this is a beta element. I'm gonna enable that because it's fun, but you can actually enable that with the Game Shark code on N64 hardware. You can do that, but basically it plays like a little Banjo-Kazooie type Triforce swipe transition whenever you go from room to room. That's cute. I'm glad they re-implemented that because I think it's really charming. I love that transition. I don't know, it looks like something straight out of Banjo-Kazooie. But that was cut from the final game, but again, you can re-implement it with the Game Shark code if you feel so compelled to. I love it though, that's great. I'm gonna keep that enabled. We got our sword, we got our shield. Our shield is floating in the air. Navi has taken our shield away. How are we feeling about Mido as a character? I think I would beat Mido to death with a brick. Link, I need you to go inside of me. I have heartburn and cholesterol. Link, I'm going to die. What if, now hear me out, what if Mido turned evil? He resented Link and Saria. And Mido was like, I'm gonna work for Ganon. That could have been a really tragic plot element right there. Here we go. First dungeon, which gave me the heebie-jeebies as a kid. I think it's the music. This weird IDM Aphex Twin like synth pads. Koji Kondo was cooking. He was in his IDM era when he did the Ocarina and Majora soundtrack. I always thought the sprite for the Deku Nuts in this game looked like an internal organ of some sort. I don't know why. It's interesting. This is a bombable wall, but I have never met anybody that has bothered to come back here after getting the bomb bag. I'm assuming there's a gold Skulltula back there, but I've never met anyone that has like bothered to go blow up that wall. 231, 23 is number 1, Michael Jordan reference. Atmosphere in this game though. The atmosphere in this game though. This scared the shit out of me as a kid. I was about to one cycle Goma. Holy moly, did y'all see that? Yeah, we're on world record pace. When are we, forget this game, when are we gonna just watch the Super Mario Brothers Super Show together on stream? When is that happening? I'm asking y'all as if I don't have 100% control over these streams. Like, I could do that. Gotta watch from Super Show to 3, then to World. Here's the thing, 3 into World isn't that bad because both series only got like 13 or so episodes. The Super Show got like 75 episodes or something, so that would be a bit of that. We would have to like lock in for that. That would be a very long stream. So we're just gonna play the rest of this game like this, right? I gotta pause. This intro is peak. Unironically, this is peak.
Of wisdom, Link. The evil wizard Ganon has the Triforce of Power.
I'm so dialed in. Why was that animation clean as hell? Like, actually, that animation was clean?
Hey, excuse me, princess.
There it is. There it is. I unironically love both the Super Show and the Zelda cartoon. This is the equivalent of watching Friday on a barbershop TV. I didn't grow up watching the Super Show as it was syndicated on TV, because I was born in '99, but I did have hella DVDs. I had hella DVDs of the Super Show, Adventures of Mario 3, the Sonic Sat AM, Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. I had hella DVDs. In my experience growing up as a kid, Blockbuster was popping off in the 2000s. Like, it died hard by the end of the 2000s decade, but I feel like Blockbuster was at their most popular compared to the 80s and 90s as they were in the 2000s. And I wasn't alive in the 80s or 90s, but I knew everyone I knew was hitting up Blockbuster in the 2000s. Yeah, we're probably not gonna make it to the Forest Temple in this stream, so I'm really interested as to like how this ROM hack is gonna work, but we're at least gonna go get to Jabu Jabu's belly. I don't know if I'm gonna do the first 3 dungeons, but definitely Dodongo's Cavern, and I might do Jabu Jabu. Kapora Gabora used to also frighten me as a kid. I think it's the way he turns his head around. Imagine seeing an owl the size of you. Owls are already kind of freaky looking, but like an owl the size of you, that's gotta be scary. He could snatch Link up. He can, because at the top of Death Mountain, you hitch a ride with Kapora Gabora. Nah, I never had a problem with Navi. Like, that was another one of the memes of the 2000s about how annoying Navi was. Navi never bothered me. Kapora Gabora is definitely more egregious. People talking about how Hyrule Field is empty and there's not much to do, which I will concede isn't an incorrect statement. There's a lot of truth to that. But goddamn, it still blows my mind what they were able to achieve with this game in 1998. And I will concede that I'm biased. I'm entirely biased. Like, I grew up with this game, but here on the WyattMC channel, we don't tolerate Ocarina of Time strays. You will be shot on sight if you disparage this game. I think at some point I read that Navi was supposed to be like a cute fairy girl, but they couldn't render her model, so they just made her an orb. That's a little fun fact about the development of Ocarina of Time. I think it was Yoshiaki Koizumi who said that. They overcorrected for Midna. Game recognized game Maple. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Day and night. The lonely star. Not you again. The nighttime ambiance in this game. Oh man. Oh man. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started or I'm gonna go psychopathy mode. Hey, your clothes, they're different. You're not from around here, are you? What? Where are we going with this, Malon? You're a fairy boy from the forest. You can't say that. You can't say that, Malon. This is one of those moments where I think like Ocarina of Time, I know this game so well that at no point I ever question its weird design choices, but there is stuff like, oh, you have to talk to Malon like 3 times and then she gives you an egg, which you then have to take to Talon at Hyrule Castle. Like, Zelda games kind of have that problem where you need to consult a guide just to progress sometimes because you just genuinely have no idea what to do. Speaking of theories and headcanons, I hate, well, this is canon. I hate that Termina ceases to exist after the events of Majora's Mask. It's a Link's Awakening. Yeah, according to AG Aonuma or Yoshiaki Koizumi, I forgot who, but they said it, but from the horse's mouth, they were like, yeah, like the actual reason that Majora's Mask is like that is because they were reusing assets. But my canon is that it, at some point in the Lost Woods, when Link like falls down that tunnel, he tripped into a parallel like dimension, alternate universe to Hyrule. My headcanon for why Link becomes the hero Shade in Twilight Princess. He stays in Termina after the events of the game. He goes, you know what? I'm gonna live in Clocktown. I'm gonna live in Termina, and he shacks up with Cremia, right? And becomes a farmhand on Romani Ranch. And he wasn't in Hyrule to save them when Ganondorf came back, and that leads into the events of Wind Waker. And Link was just like hanging out with his farm wife on Romani Ranch. And that's why he becomes the hero Shade and he's full of regret because he couldn't save Hyrule. That's my theory. Write it down, read it and weep, baby. Zelda, this is kind of like, it's kind of a hate crime. You're just suspecting this man because he has dark skin. You just think he's evil because he's from the desert. I mean, she's right. Ganondorf is the embodiment of evil, but this is entirely predicated on him just looking kind of scary. Also, this is the best version of Ganondorf, in my opinion. There is no debate about this. This Ganondorf is dripped up and draped out. He's got like the Versace druid outfit going on. He's got like the Fendi gauntlets. Hyrule Warriors Ganondorf is up there, but Ocarina Ganondorf is I just like yoked druid looking Ganondorf.
Drive Force chose me because it knew, just like you do. The Dovayotri stock your crew. I run every fade with scars and shit that I've been through. And don't bring shit, cause Ganondorf will drop her too.
That was Power by Okumura, which leads me to another tangent. They did a song for No More Heroes 3 called Itadakimasu. And Suda51 Grasshopper just dropped Romeo is a Dead Man, but I can't play it because my computer specs are garbage, but I really want to play it because it looks fun. It's gonna be really funny watching like 3-foot tall young Link whooping Ganondorf's ass at the end of the game. Here we go. This is such a vibe. Kokiri Forest at sunset without the music. I should have streamed this during June. I should have streamed this during the summertime. It's too early to be playing Ocarina, but we're already here, so... Like, if I were to have a stand, or if I made up stands, I've had a couple. One of them is 40 ounces to freedom, and it manifests as like a bottle of Miller High Life, like a 40 ounce. And it cures you of whatever your current ailment is, whether it's an injury, or a chronic illness, or a disease. Another one that I've come up with is Stranger in Moscow. And it manifests as a microphone that floats in the air. And if somebody speaks into it, it translates it into your language. And if you speak into it, it translates it to whatever the person you're speaking to, whatever their language is. Stands and SMT demons are closer than you think. That's so true. Persona 4 is literally Diamond is Unbreakable. There's just something about Ocarina of Time and the way that it looks that clicks with me so hard. I mean, just look at that. God damn it, Kapora Gabora. I'm gonna try to do that this year, but I said that last year and I didn't get around to it, but I am gonna try to get around to playing Snatcher this year. Need to rewatch Blade Runner, speaking of which. Snatcher? I hardly know her. Here's a fun fact about Ocarina of Time you may not know. If you tap the B button, you swim faster. This is a little fun fact about, OOT, baby.
I woke up with the Snatcher. I woke up with the Snatcher.
Here's another fun fact about Ocarina of Time. When you come to Kakariko Village as a kid, the music is different than when you come here as an adult. The instrumentation, the arrangement is different. Star Ocean 3. I never got smart on Star Ocean, but I am a fan of the Tales of series. Final Fantasy X has good voice acting. People point out to the scene, but the whole point of that scene is that it's really awkward. Fun fact about OOT, this game sucks ass. Depending on who you ask, that's like a true statement. I do think the hate for Majora's Mask 3D is overstated. I think Majora's Mask 3D has a ton of really nice quality of life improvements, but there's a lot of stupid design changes to it. Namely the Zora swimming, which is like, what are we even doing here? Why did that? Who allowed that to happen? The Zora swimming is absolutely the worst change to Majora's Mask 3D, but otherwise, I think Majora's Mask 3D is a fine way to play that game. Playing surround sound OOT. I think that somebody did that. There was a blind speedrunner no, he wasn't a speedrunner. He was just blind, and he played the game. I don't know how far he got into Ocarina of Time, but he played the game, and he at least did the Deku Tree. And homeboy was blind. I don't understand how that even works, but good for him. Oh, look at that. That's the hero shield from Majora's Mask, which is my favorite shield in the series. That's great. That's awesome. That's interesting, though. They replaced the Hylian shield with the hero shield, but the Kokiri sword in this game is the Ocarina version and not the Majora's Mask version. Majora's Mask has some of the coolest stuff in the entire series, like weapons. It's got the Razor Sword, it's got the Great Fairy Sword, it's got the Gilded Sword. Why are the guards of Hyrule kind of cunty with it? Like, they're kind of serving. They got, like, the compression shorts. I love this shield so much. I'm so glad that they replaced it with the hero shield, because this is the coolest shield in the entire series, in my opinion. I love the Goron so much. Look at these guys. Oh, they rock. Oh! Oh, oh! Come on! Come on, come on, come on! Hot! What a hot beat! Oh, wow! Yeah! Yahoo! We got that Tory Burch bracelet. Okay, let me angle this right. Yeah, a little bit of crystal. Okay, here we go. We got the shortcut. That's not how you're supposed to do that, but that's how you do that if you're cool. I could find very little on the internet about this ROM hack, like no playthroughs or anything, so for all I know, I could have the world record in this ROM hack specifically. Now, you could climb up these steps like a baby, or you could backflip up them like a boss. L is real 2401. Famous Super Mario 64 texture. You can unlock Luigi in this game, trust me, my uncle who works at Nintendo told me. I don't know why, Dodongo's Cavern and this boss battle with King Dodongo, whenever I think about Ocarina of Time, this is like the first dungeon that comes to mind. I love this boss battle. It's really memorable to me for some reason. Rip King Dodongo, bro was pretty mid. I would like to point out we haven't died yet. We had some close encounters with the Blowjob Brothers in Dodongo's Cavern, but we haven't died yet. That's the thing about third-party controllers. In the 90s and the 2000s, they were such garbage, but I feel like third-party controllers today are pretty half-decent. At least compared to the garbage third-party controllers that I grew up with, like Mad Catz or the shitty GameStop GameCube controller. If you go into Walmart today and you get like a third-party Switch Pro controller, it's not going to be amazing, but it'll service you well. It'll do the trick, do the job. Back then, those controllers felt like pestilence and plastic. They fell apart the moment that you looked at them the wrong way. Time for an honest day's work at the farm. Gonna milk those cows. Yeehaw. Actually, before we do that, let's go get another bottle. That was the loudest chicken sound effect. They're so loud. Oh my god. Yeah, that is Super freaking Mario in the flesh. Talon is like Super Mario if he were from Georgia instead of Brooklyn. How'd you like to marry Malin, huh? Well, I think Malin called me a fairy boy, so I think she's under a misapprehension. I don't know. I don't know if I don't think she thinks I play for the team or whatever the figure of speech is. Lon Milk, the best taunt in Smash Brothers. Got some Lon Milk, baby. I like how the sprite of it just says milk. I don't know why, but I'm such a sucker for sunset sky drops in gaming, especially of this era. Look at that lens flare. Rareware like to do it a lot. They would end their games on like a beach at sunset. Banjo-Kazooie did it, DK64 did it. Conker's Bad Fur Day doesn't do it at sunset, but it's like a whole ass day and it ends at presumably sometime in the morning at like 2 in the morning. Are you going to apologize for calling me a fairy boy? Oh, it's the fairy boy again. I swear I've asked this question every single time I've streamed Ocarina, but do you think anybody's ever made a VST or like a Vocaloid sampling Malin's singing? Do you think anybody's made that? Malin could be a Vocaloid, I think. Now we're besties with Epona. She loves me. Have you guys seen the Hatsune Miku guitar pedal? It's a distortion pedal that makes your guitar sound like Hatsune Miku. I don't know if it's an official Vocaloid product or if some crazy mad lad made it themselves, but it's pretty cool. He looks like he should be a bassist for like a funk metal band from California in the 90s. Okay, I have to see what V-Love sent me now. I can't pull it up. It's a Twitter link. It won't embed. I'm gonna have to like Twitter to MP4 it. This would be terrifying in real life. Kapora Gabora. If I saw an owl that was the size of a man, that would be so scary. Blows my mind people are on a website that can 100% be described as the Nazi Chomo site. Yeah, it's a cesspool, especially with all of the grok shit. But here's the thing, I'm gonna lose some people with this. I go a step further. I think all social media is, I'm not a religious person. I think that shit is the Antichrist. I think all social media is evil and it's gonna rip us all to pieces. Doesn't matter what in my opinion, all social media is the devil. I'm not even joking about that. Like, I think I'm being serious. Still kind of think it looks like she has leprosy. Like, I know the texture on her body is supposed to be vines, but it kind of looks like she has a skin disease that's eating away at her flesh. Pay attention to your green magic meter. I'm always saying this. Great grandma, you always know what to say.
Christmas.
I wonder if these first-person segments were a remnant when Ocarina of Time was going to be a first-person game. At some point in development, they toyed with the idea of this game being entirely first-person, and I wonder if this is like a holdover from that. The towns in this game are so peaceful at sunset without the music. Twilight Princess is another contender for like my favorite looking Zelda game because it is very sepia. It's very Breaking Bad Mexico piss filter, but I kind of like it. It's dusk. It's kind of melancholy feeling. Damn, listen to those double bass kicks. I am so sick of Kapora Gabora. This dude needs to go lecture somebody else. You know how scary a life-size spider would be in real life? Same thing with like life-size, human size rather. I don't know what life-size spider means. Like a human-sized spider, right? Think of a human-sized ant. They would be bulletproof. Ants can lift up to 100 times their own body weight or something. They would be indestructible. We would be so game over. Like, pack it up, everybody. We're done here. 1998 was a good year for gaming. I think Banjo-Kazooie, Ocarina of Time, Final Fantasy VII, I believe was 98. I think Metal Gear Solid was 98. Fallout might have been 1998 as well. Zora's Domain, very strong contender for my favorite song in this game. It's so chill. This diving game gave me vertigo when I was a kid. I'm very scared of heights. Cliff diving is like insane. The fact that people just do that, you telling me people straight up just do that for fun? That's in the same ballpark as going caving. Like, why on earth would you do that? What was my first 3D game? Probably either Super Mario 64 or Mario Kart 64. The N64 was the first console I can remember. Some of my earliest memories are of like opening Super Mario 64 on Christmas and Donkey Kong 64. This is a really funny camera angle. No, but the N64 is my favorite console, even though I am self-aware enough to concede that a lot of that is nostalgia. I think that these games hold up well, but they do run awful. Like 90% of the N64 library, unfortunately, runs like garbage. But, you know, with the new developments with recompilations and decompilations, like we might be living in a N64 renaissance coming up. Classic. This is classic. They knew that this was funny. They were like, we're gonna waste a minute of the player's time. He's just gonna weep over. Welcome to another episode of Extreme Cliff Diving! I need to catch a fish. What is your guys' fish tier list? Overall, I would say tuna is the go-to fish, but if I'm feeling bougie, mahi-mahi, which I've only ever had like twice in my life, but mahi-mahi is delicious. This guy wouldn't eat Princess Rudo. Come on, don't be silly. Don't be silly. Hey buddy, I brought you a snack. Oh God, what are you doing? Oh shit, dude! Get owned. Wonder if Jabu Jabu is a giant ancient Zora. Well, that's interesting because there are two types of Zoras. You got the pretty looking Zoras that you see in this game, and then you got the like fish people Zoras from Zelda 1 to Zelda 1, Link to the Past, Link's Awakening, I think. What are you doing inside a fish, lady? You fish lady? This is basically just Resident Evil 4 when you're escorting Ashley. Leon! Ashley is a lot more polite though. Princess Rudo is kind of mean. Ashley is kind of the homegirl though, because you'll be playing that game and you'll be like, Ashley, hide in the dumpster, and she'll go, okay, Leon. I never understood that in the 2000s, like people going on about how Ashley is annoying. I never got that. But then she pops up in front of your scope. I love that video, Azura. She looks like she's off the zonkies in that. Can you like MP4 that and send it to me so I can pull it up on stream? That video is so funny.
We're doing this.
What? I still haven't played the remake. I've heard that the Resident Evil 4 remake is good, but nothing will ever top the original for me. I was very disappointed when I was younger, because, you know, me being a huge Zelda fan, I got a boomerang thinking that you could throw it like Link and it would return back to you. And it was a harsh reality when I learned that boomerangs don't function in real life the same way that they do in The Legend of Zelda. I wonder what the reward is for getting all the gold sculptulas, because, again, I've never done it before. I think the furthest I ever got in any playthrough of Ocarina was getting the Shard of Agony, or the Stone of Agony. Well, Princess Ruto is dead. The Zora Stone is gone. Wrap it up. Pack it up, everybody. Link's gonna go to Denny's and get a Grand Slam instead of, you know, whatever we got going on here. Hero of Time business. It's not working out. The reward for all gold sculptulas is infinite rupees? Interesting. So you're telling me you don't unlock Luigi in Dodongo's Cavern when you go in there with the golden plunger that you get for getting all of the gold sculptulas? What do you think young Link would order from Denny's? See, here's my thing. I kind of have beef with Denny's because I'm a Waffle House stan. Bacon, egg, and cheese bowl, hash browns, smothered, covered, whatever. Get the Texas cheesesteak melt. Hash browns smothered in cheese with jalapenos and breakfast gravy. Undefeated. Undefeated. Breakfast of champions right there. You know, young Link is kind of... He's not dissimilar to Kid Goku. He doesn't know what marriage is. He doesn't know what a husband is. He's just like, alright, I guess, give it to me. I need it. I gotta go kill Ganondorf, dude. Bro grew up in the woods. Yeah, same thing with Goku. All OOT bosses are just freak creatures. I think design-wise, Bongo Bongo is my favorite. The implication that he was like a prisoner of war and he was tortured and had his head cut off because he's literally missing his head. It's just like a gaping neck wound, and he's got welts all over his back. I'd like to imagine Bongo Bongo was just tortured and was so angry that he cursed the Hylian family and the Sheikah and became like a demon underneath the dungeon. That's my Bongo Bongo theory. There might actually be some semblance of truth to that in some material, I don't know. Alright, well that was a terrifying adventure that I never want to recreate. Let's get out of here. Yeah, Jabu Jabu's belly. It's not the worst thing ever, but it's definitely my least favorite dungeon in this extreme cliff diving! What an arm. That was at least like 45 yards. Oh, I lost her. You, over there, little kid. You must have seen the white horse gallop past just now. Which way did it go? Answer me! So, you think you can protect them from me? You got guts, kid. Link is ready to bang. He's ready to square up. Look at the size of my ears. I like to imagine that Ganondorf is just waiting out in the bushes for Link to open the door to time. Is Link just gonna be like a little kid? I wonder if it's gonna be adult Link in the cutscenes. But then we go back to gameplay and it's just young Link again? I was expecting them to just cut the cutscenes entirely, just scrap them. But maybe you couldn't do that? Maybe that's like, you can't do that in a ROM hack? I don't know. Rauru is so chill. I don't rock with Kapora Gabora, which that's who he is. He's the owl. But Rauru himself, he's chill. He kind of reminds me of King Harkinian, but bald. You haven't aged a bit? There is new text? Oh, that rocks. That is so funny. Link, you're still a cringe-ass nene baby, Link. Got a different weapon. Yeah, we're rocking the razor sword. I'm okay with that. I freaking love the razor sword. It's super underutilized in Majora. It's such a cool looking weapon. Okay, well that answers several questions already. I am so stoked to be wielding the razor sword. I love this weapon so much. Oh yeah, we're in the adult timeline, so Kokiri Forest is Fubar now. Right. I'm so glad that we got the razor sword instead of the master sword. That makes me so happy. The razor sword is so gangster. I'm gonna go to bat for Ingo. He's kind of an asshole, but he was definitely doing all of the hard work on Lon Lon Ranch. Son of a bitch. God damn it. God damn it. All right, we'll come back. Link, do you want to get down there? Do you want to get down there, Link? Nosferatu. Oh, he must have just had a heart attack between me talking to him and jumping down this hole. Wow, that's crazy. He died really quickly. Oh, look at that. It's the Majora's Mask hook shot. What are you? Though you wear Kokiri's clothing, you can't fool. It's me. It's Link. Y'all remember me? That's not how the song goes. That's not how the song goes. That's not how the song goes. Speaking of Majora's Mask, there's a cool ROM hack that adds the masks to Ocarina of Time. And apparently it breaks the shit out of the game. Like, it demolishes Ocarina of Time wide open, so that might be fun for, like, next year's Ocarina playthrough. The moblins in this game are scary. They're freaking yoked. They look like the Mug Root Beer Dog. This might be my favorite temple in all of Zelda. It's a tie between this and the Spirit Temple. I think at the end of the day, though, I would still say the Forest Temple is my favorite in any Zelda dungeon ever. The flow of time is always cruel. Its speed seems different for each person, but no one can change it. The thing that doesn't change with time is a memory of younger days. In order to come back here again, play the Minuet of Forest. This is a bit existential and cerebral for a 7-year-old child. God, the stock hookshot is so pitiful. Even the entrance to this temple is so cool looking. Like, oh my god, I love it. I love it. Look at this. It's so spooky. I wanted to like crouch stab. Uh-oh, how am I gonna climb it though? That's a problem. Ate a quarter pounder with Cheems? That rocks, let's go. And then I throw the styrofoam container out the side. I am at a crossroads here. I don't know how I'm supposed to, because regular Link can just jump up there, but we're playing as cringe-ass Nene Baby Link. That's the plot of Wind Waker. I mean, true. Link in Wind Waker is just some kid who's like, all right, I guess I'm gonna reforge the Master Sword. I guess I'm gonna reforge the Master Sword and reassemble the Triforce. I just wanted to save my sister, but fuck it. Oh, there's so much waiting in Ocarina of Time. Oh, there's so much waiting in the combat of Ocarina of Time. I'm Aaron Hansen. Oh, there's so much waiting. If you don't like sweet and sour sauce, you can grow up. I feel like I need to actually show that TikTok, because I quote it all the time. I don't know if I've actually shown it before.
Ew, sweet and sour sauce? That is so gross.
If you don't like this sauce, grow up. Alright, put some brown sugar, some garlic salt on.
If you don't like the sauce, grow up.
Grow up.
Oh, nobody showed up. Guess I'm gonna go home. Ganondorf? Great King of Evil? No, it's a scary skeleton man. Damn, he's kind of whooping my ass. Go to hell. You're still alive? Oh my god. You hate when that happens. You hate when you get banished to the gap between dimensions. Am I right or am I right? Shadow Realm? I'm sending you to Tampa, Florida! I always wondered what that texture was by his, like, collar. Is it supposed to be... Does he have, like, a neck beard? Does he just have a very hairy neck? See ya! Yeah, bro needs to shave his neck beard. This stream is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. No, it's not. They're not paying me. I'm not even gonna joke about a sponsor unless I'm getting residual checks. What is there to do? Big Goron sword? We can't do that yet. I guess we can just go do the fire. Oh, right. I gotta go talk to Sheik back at the Temple of Time. I wonder if it's gonna be possible to beat the Running Man in this ROM hack. That was one of many Ocarina of Time urban legends that I saw on the internet growing up. You know, there was like the golden tunic, collecting the Triforce, getting the sword beam, Ella's Real 2401, freaking the unicorn fountain. There's a lot of bots recently. But beating the Running Man was one that persisted for a very, very long time. How could you do this to me? You're Ganondorf's servant. Hear my name and tremble. I am Link, hero of the Gorons. Link made such a strong impression on Darunia that he named his son after him. I love that bit of lore. You must be the legendary Dodongo Buster and hero Link. My dad is Darunia. Do you remember him? I love this. I love this bit of like world building here. Like Darunia rocked with Link so hard, he was like, that little dude rules, that he named his son after Link. I loved, and people say that that Zelda stories are bad or they have no substance. I like in the manga adaptation by Akira Himekawa, Volvagia was like Link's pet that Link got in the castle town in the market as a kid. And then it makes it extra sad when Link has to kill his cool little pet dragon. Yeah, I definitely think that the blue tunic is my favorite, personally. But the red tunic matches with the mirror shield. But then again, this game's mirror shield is probably going to be the one from Majora, which I don't like, so... Uh-oh! Link's dead. He's dead. Rest in peace. Game over. He's dead. I like that Sheik is going on these verbose monologues about the passage of time, and young Link is probably just thinking about Lunchables. And then Sheik's like, yo, learn the Bolero of Fire. I had my fair share of Lunchables as a kid. You know what sucked, though? Not Lunchables. Lunchables were pretty legit. Frickin' Kid Cuisine. That shit sucked. Even as a kid, I was like, this is awful. The brownie, no matter how you baked the Kid Cuisine in the oven, it would always come out rock hard. Now, the Fire Temple is pretty infamous because in the original version of the game, which I actually have the cartridge for it still, the 1.0 or 1.1 cartridge, the song here used a sample from a sample library that was like an Islamic prayer. And Koji Kondo probably just heard that shit and was like, oh, this sounds cool. And I'm wondering which version we're gonna hear in this ROM hack, but yeah, subsequent revisions of Ocarina of Time have completely different Fire Temple music. There was a great episode on Pop Fiction. Rest in peace, game trailers. Rest in peace, Pop Fiction. But there was a great episode about the Fire Temple music. Oh, there it is. Yeah, this is the original Fire Temple music here. And this chant was just from a sample library CD. Koji Kondo probably heard that shit and was like, oh, this is heat. I'm gonna use this. But it's apparently like an excerpt from the Quran. It sounds cool. Again, as somebody who knows nothing about the Quran, or I'm not really religious in any capacity, but it sounds cool, so I could see why they used it. Yo, Darunia, what's poppin'? I want to have a man-to-man talk with you, but now's not the time. Ganondorf is causing trouble, so I'm gonna whoop his ass. Rest in peace, game trailers. If you haven't seen Pop Fiction, it was a web series that was run by game trailers back in the early 2010s to the mid to late 2010s. And basically every video game urban legend that you can think of was covered in a Pop Fiction video. Those videos were great. Could young Link always use the bow? No, not in Ocarina of Time. But here in this ROM hack, young Link has all of the weapons that adult Link can use. I agree. Like, I think the original Fire Temple music here is way better. Like, yeah, it is a sacred chant from the Quran, and it probably shouldn't have ended up on that sample CD in the first place, but the people who made that sample CD probably didn't know what it was. They just thought it sounded cool. And it does sound cool. I thought it was the coolest shit in the world when I first played Majora as a kid and he started doing backflips and stuff. Like, oh, okay, no, this is the sequel to Ocarina of Time. Link is like a seasoned veteran at this point because he's doing backflips and just styling on them. I don't know if it's canon. I'm not going to say any of this is canon. This is just ever since I was a kid how I interpreted some of the story beats and the themes of this game. But I personally believe that the sages are all dead. In the 2000s, I remember seeing, again, shout out to game trailers, but they're Zelda retrospective, right? And on the internet back in the 2000s, there was I remember seeing a fan theory that Zelda 2 took place after Ocarina of Time because all of the towns in Zelda 2 are named after the sages in this game. Now, obviously, it's backwards, right? The sages in this game are named after the towns in Zelda 2, but people theorize like, oh, Zelda 2 has to take place after Ocarina of Time because all the towns are named in honor of the sages, which I always thought was really cool. I love theory crafting and stuff like that, especially for Zelda because I'm very passionate about this series. Oh, Zora's domain is all frozen over. Many rumors about the alleged unicorn fountain. If you could somehow get underneath the ice, you could find the unicorn fountain. So many rumors and urban legends surrounding this game. Unicorn fountain. That was... So it was basically a beta asset, but it went unused, but there were screenshots of it in like Game Informer and Nintendo Power. But basically one of the long-standing urban legends about this game was getting the Triforce and getting like sword beams and stuff. And one of the theories about the unicorn fountain was that if you could break out underneath the ice within Zora's domain, you could access the unicorn fountain. It was all a load of chicanery. It was all a load of hogwash and flim-flam, but remember when you were younger subscribing to the theory that the water temple was originally an ice temple and there was going to be an ice sage? There was also rumors of like an earth temple, and I remember in particular there was rumors of a sky temple. I think one of the things that keeps me coming back to Ocarina of Time, other than the fact that it's just a great game in its own right, is all of the urban legends and myths and rumors surrounding this game. More so than any other video game that I grew up with, aside from maybe Sonic 2, Ocarina of Time had so many rumors and myths surrounding it that just kept me coming back. But when I think of video games that stoked the fires of my imagination, like that got me wondering what all was within the confines of this game, Sonic 2 and Ocarina of Time were the two big ones for sure. You could sample this and make some crazy vapor trap out of it. I'm sure somebody's already done that. Actually, no, I know for a fact that somebody has sampled this. If you were on SoundCloud from like 2015 to 2019, and you heard the Happy Mask Salesman laugh, or you heard like the Great Fairy laugh, you knew you were about to hear the hardest shit of your entire life. This is one of a handful of areas when I think of Ocarina of Time in my brain, I think about this room. It's so cool looking. The Gilded Sword is cool. I would still go to bat for the Razor Sword. I don't know, something about the Razor Sword is really charming to me, but the Gilded Sword looks cool in its own way as well. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a nice night. It was very gloomy and rainy today. I hung out with one of my real-life friends, which was fun catching up with them. And I got sushi. I love sushi. I love fish. This is a recent development in my life. For the longest time, I didn't really rock with seafood other than crab because I'm from Maryland. Sorry, Merlin. But I think when I was 21, 6 or 7 years ago, I got into like tuna, salmon, smoked salmon in particular is great. Sushi, I love sushi. I'm not a sushi connoisseur though. Like, if you gave me super Americanized Western sushi with like spicy mayo and cream cheese, which I love, like not traditional, what is it? Nigiri? What is sashimi? Like if you gave me actual traditional Japanese top shelf sushi and then gave me the Americanized like American restaurant, Pan-Asian restaurant sushi, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference, but you know what? They're both yummy. I think there is merit to putting cream cheese and like dousing spicy mayo and sriracha over a roll of sushi. Is it traditional? Is it authentic? No, but it's delicious. All right, we got the Zora tunic, which is my favorite. I love that shade of blue. It's a very deep royal blue, but it's not super saturated. It's a little desaturated actually. Yeah, today was very chill. My birthday's coming up in 2 weeks, but I don't have any plans for it. I might go to Waffle House. Yeah, I love sushi. I love like Americanized sushi. I don't care if it's good, like quote unquote authentic sashimi, you know? I'll eat whatever you put. I'm not a picky eater in general. I will eat anything. There are some people on this planet that are above getting a Crunchwrap Supreme or a quesarito from Taco Bell. I am not that person. That is not me. Go to McDonald's, get a spicy McCrispy, get a quarter pounder with cheese, get a Big Mac. I'm down. I'm there. Let's go. Now, I could map the iron boots to the D-pad in this ROM hack, but I'm not going to do that. We're going to do this legit. We're gonna do this legit. We could expedite the process a little bit by mapping the iron boots to the D-pad, but I'm not gonna do that. Let's go. Water temple, baby. Let's do it. Atmospherically, I mean, I said the same thing about like every temple in this game, but I really do love the feel of the water temple. Like you can just feel the humidity in this temple. I'm gonna get lost. Like no matter how many times I replay OOT, I get stuck on this temple, but I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. It's overwhelming for a new player, and it is a little bit mind-boggling perhaps, but I think it's doable. The thing for me about the water temple is there's 1 or 2 keys that are super easy to miss that I always miss. Every subsequent playthrough of this game, there's like 1 key or 2 keys in the water temple that are so easy to miss and I forget about them. The water temple would smell like an indoor swimming pool. I don't know why. It wouldn't. Like there wouldn't be a chemically chlorine smell, but I get the impression that this place smells like an indoor swimming pool. Menuing adds up. It really does, but like genuinely, it's kind of exhausting. Like this is, in my opinion, the worst part about the water temple, but they remedied that in the 3DS port and most official and unofficial ports of Ocarina that you can play right now if you Google it, bitch. I don't know why I said bitch there. That was mean. If there's one thing that Ocarina nails, it's the atmosphere. Even more so than Majora. Majora has a different feel to it though. Equally good, you know, it's still good, but I like Ocarina more aesthetically. Majora is definitely the most colorful Zelda game. That game is borderline neon with its use of color. It is very bright and saturated, which is, I rock with that. Imagine if there was an oxygen meter, God. Thank the Lord for the blue tunic. Yo, people dunk on Gloomy Galleon in DK64 and say that that's the worst level in that game, but I also disagree with that. What would I say is the worst in DK64? Worst level? It's weird. Frantic Factory, whenever I replay DK64, I'm like, oh, this level sucks and I hate it. But then I play it, and it's like not that bad, actually. Like off the dome, my heart says Frantic Factory, but every time, and I've replayed DK64 a number of times just the past couple of years, every time I replay it, I'm like, oh, this isn't that bad at all. Okay, let's see. Jungle Japes is good, Angry Aztec is good, Frantic Factory is good, Gloomy Galleon's fine. Crystal Cavern, probably. I don't like the big annoying goblin guy. For starters, I think that's an annoying gimmick. It's kind of generic, it's kind of boring. There's no identity, you're just in a cave. Fungi Forest, I like aesthetically. Like, I really like the look and the feel of that level, but there's a lot of annoying back and forth. Fungi Forest has the potential to be my favorite level in DK64, but it's just, that level is annoying to play through. You would think with how much I love this game and how many times I've replayed it that I would have every single bit of this game committed to memory, but for some reason Zelda games, I just end up forgetting stuff. It's not just this game, like every Zelda game, I just end up forgetting stuff here and there. Yo, get me out of this whack-ass crystal prison. Link is like 8 years old. He doesn't know what you're talking about, lady. He doesn't know what a husband is. He's thinking about freaking Gogurt. I say this about every part of, like every part of this game is my favorite part of the game. This is my favorite dungeon of the game, all of them. This is my favorite song, all of them. But I love the Gerudo Training Ground. I think Zelda games need more like cool one-off little dungeons that don't give you a super important reward, but they give you something neat, like the ice arrows in this game. Zelda needs more optional weapons and gear that isn't imperative to beat the game, but it's like a cool thing that you can do for doing a side dungeon. Having a loose main campaign and a bunch of side dungeons would be sick. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, obviously you cannot do open world Zelda and Ocarina of Time, like Majora's Mask, linear Zelda at the same time, but there is a compromise. Like, they could absolutely compromise and have like an in-between, which Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are full like open world, right? Modern Zelda, new Zelda, whatever you want to call it. But if they somehow compromised and they were able to do a semi-open world game with a, like you said, a loose main campaign like Breath of the Wild or Zelda 1, but having like optional side dungeons, it doesn't have to be 100, it could be like 50, right? Whatever. And then you have like 3 main dungeons. You got 3 or 4 big boy dungeons like Majora, and then like a bunch of Gerudo Training Grounds. And it doesn't literally have to be the Gerudo Training Ground. I'm just saying that as a reference, as like a side dungeon, right? That's in this game. Or the Ice Cavern in this game, whatever, you know, stuff like that. I think I've told this before on stream, but a couple years ago, my friend Tom and my friends and I, we were hanging out, right? We were just chilling. And he turns to me and he goes, "Hey Wyatt, what was that cartoon intro that goes, Jetsons, meet the Jetsons, where the..." And I'm like, first of all, motherfucker, that's the Flintstones. Second of all, you said the name of it, even though that's not the name of the show. You literally said it. I've said this before many times on stream, but I would buy a Hanna-Barbera, specifically Boomerang DVD Blu-ray, just collection of, oh my goodness gracious sakes. It would have to include the bumpers though. Like I know that I always talk about this whenever I bring up Boomerang or Hanna-Barbera, but that would be an instant frivolous like impulse purchase for me. I would absolutely buy a Boomerang Blu-ray with just a bunch of old Hanna-Barbera cartoons with the bumpers in between. I'd buy the shit out of that. We got a gorilla for sale. Magilla gorilla for sale. Don't you call him a monkey, he ain't got no tail. And if he did, Magilla the monkey would be for sale. Got a gorilla for sale, Magilla gorilla for sale. Earlier I had Hurt Feelings by Flight of the Conchords stuck in my head, and now I've got Magilla gorilla for sale. What the hell just... Go Link, go. I covered it a little bit in my video on Ocarina, but I think I might make a dedicated video on just all the urban legends and rumors and myths surrounding this game. I did a little bit of that in the Ocarina video that I did, but I might make a dedicated video on all of the rumors and urban legends surrounding Ocarina. Because there are just so many of them, and they really captivated my imagination when I was a kid. Welcome to the Happy Mask Shop. We deal in masks that bring happiness to everyone. How would you like to be a happiness salesman? I'll lend you a mask. You sell the mask and bring the money back here. If you want to read the fine print, take a look at the sign right over there. I think the Happy Mask salesman himself is based off of Miyamoto. I remember hearing that at some point. I don't know how true that is, but he kind of looks like Miyamoto. His hair color isn't his hairstyle isn't the same either, but he has the same friendly disposition that Shiggy Miyamoto does. I like this side quest because there's really no real reward for it other than being able to rent out a mask and, you know, equip it if you feel so compelled to, but it's neat. It's just a fun little side quest. Did you know that in the process of making Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Miyamoto wanted to add a feature of the game that taught children how to cook? One of these meals included a widely loved baked potato recipe that Miyamoto wanted to share. What is the Miyamoto baked potato recipe, though? We've been talking about it for years. We've been speculating. We've been going back and forth about this elusive baked potato recipe. I want to know, does it have, like, bacon bits in it? Does it have cheddar cheese? Is it served with a side of, like, sour cream? What is the Shiggy Miyamoto baked potato recipe? How do you think he makes his baked potato? Do they even have potatoes over in Japan? I'm sorry, that's a culturally ignorant question, but do they have potatoes in Japan? I don't think so. The only gaming rumor that matters. I mean, we've been saying it for a while now that one of us could go on 4chan and like doctor a screenshot convincingly, and like the baked potato recipe could be like a new Ocarina Zelda urban legend, like honestly. Oh, we don't have the Gerudo Valley music? That simply will not do. That simply will not do. Now, there is a song by They Might Be Giants called Istanbul, Not Constantinople, which is actually a cover, believe it or not. It's a cover of like an old folk song. And the chords on Istanbul, Not Constantinople sound just like Gerudo Valley. I wonder if Koji Kondo was listening to Flood by They Might Be Giants and he heard those chords and then he came up with Gerudo Valley. Was sold a false bus ticket, currently stranded in Maryland. That sucks. Also, this is from Majora's Mask. Once again, this is not Ocarina of Time. This is Majora's Mask. Salisbury? That's better than being stuck in like Gaithersburg or Bethesda, Maryland. I was flipping bricks for Mansa Musa before y'all even became a Type 1 civilization. You know what the most tragic thing about Dracula Flow is? Not one single bar, not one single reference to the old Hanna-Barbera cartoon, the Drac Pack. It writes itself. Like, he literally could have just said, I'm smoking on that Drac Pack. Y'all know me. Y'all know I grew up watching Boomerang. I grew up watching Hanna-Barbera. Like, that's my shit. I watched the Drac Pack growing up, and there was not a single reference in Dracula Flow to the Drac Pack. I think the line about the Givenchy gloves choked him out with some Givenchy gloves. The last thing he saw was the price tag on them. That's like my favorite bar from Dracula Flow. Will you go through this tiny hole and get a treasure that's inside? Whoa, lady! You gotta take me out to dinner first before you ask those kind of questions.
my neighbor,